Hi everyone, welcome back to DataZard. I am Radhika and today we're going to be solving Workout Wednesday 2021 Week 33 challenge for Power BI, which is around creating tables. And we are going to be creating this dashboard where we have some conditional formatting for the background, some icons which are again using conditional formatting, and we have some slicers available so that users can slice and dice the data. If you're learning something new from these videos, then please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go into our Power BI desktop. The data is in the form of an Excel file, so I'll click on Import Data from Excel and grab the file and click on Open. Now we can either use table or sheet 1 because both have the same data. It's just in the table format. So I'll click the checkbox for this table 1 and click on Transform Data as we have to apply some transformations which are already mentioned in the challenge. Firstly, I'm going to rename this table. So I will call this customers. And next, all of these have the correct data type. It's just the first date, first deposit, which is not having the correct data type. So I will convert this into a date column. Now, it is mentioned in the challenge that we have to create a column using Power Query, that is mQuery, and create a column which finds out the difference between today's date and the sign up date, which is this column. Instead of using today's date, because this challenge was done in 2021, I'm going to use the same date on which this challenge was posted. So my numbers match what you see in the challenge itself. So for that, let's go to add column and click on custom column because we're going to create a custom column. And what we need to do is find duration in days. So I'll write duration dot days. It needs a difference of two dates, and the first date that I'm going to give is the date on which the challenge was posted, which was 18th of August 2021. So for that I will write date 2021. 8 is the month and 18th is the date. And now we need to subtract this by the sign up date. So I can just click on the sign up date column and put insert here. Now once this is done, I will also rename this column, and this I will call this days since signed up and click on OK. Now, another column that we need to create using Power Query Editor is the difference between first deposit and sign up date in terms of days. So again, I'll click on custom column and I will again use duration.days. Now, we need to give the first date as first deposit date and the next date as the sign up date. And I will call this column days between sign up date and first deposit date. And I will click on OK. Once this is done, we can head back to our Power BI desktop. So for that, go to Home and click on Close and Apply so that I apply these changes. Now the next column that I'm going to create using DAX will be this column where I'm using the column that we created earlier, which was days between today's date and the sign up date, like days since signed up. We have to add a text which says days ago or day ago, depending on if it is one day, then we say day ago. And if it is more than one day, we add days ago to that text. So this we are going to create using DAX. For that, I will right click on customers table and click on new column. Now I will call this number of days since signed up. That will be equal to. Now we have to decide whether we have to put day or days as text. So for that, I will create a variable called text value and use an if condition. So if my days since signed up is equal to 1, then I will just write day ago. Otherwise, I need days ago. Now we can write our return statement. And here we are just going to use some concatenation. So with my days since signed up, I just need to add this text value. Now it says DAX comparison operations do not support comparing values of type text with values of type integer. So because we are doing a comparison here between integer, and this column is set as text. So let us change this column. So days since signed up, it's a text column. Let us convert this into a whole number. Click on yes. And now when we do that and go on our column, the error is gone because we are doing the right comparison between an integer and another integer. Now, if I go back to the table view, I can see that this is coming all right. Like it is 1 day and 170 days. The only thing is we need to add a space between these two. So for that, let's go back to the DAX and we're going to add just a space over here, which is going to fix the formatting issue. The next thing that we need to do is we need to define these levels. So the challenge says create a DAX calculated column to keep track of customers deposited or not with three levels of distinction. So if customer has made a deposit or not, we need to keep track of that. But there are three levels in which we need to keep track of this. First is customers who made a deposit no matter when. So if they have made a deposit, it's our level one. Customers who signed up in the previous 2 days but haven't made a deposit yet. So this is our level 2, and customers who signed up more than 2 days ago and still haven't made a deposit. So this is our level 3. So I'm going to use DAX to create this column and have level 1, level 2, and level 3 as our final output. So again, right click on customers and go to new column so that we create a new column. I'm going to call this track of customers. Now I can simply use a switch statement here. That will be the simplest option. So switch true. Now I will first define our second level. So it says if the days since signed up is less than 2 and customer has not made a deposit. So for that I can say when the days since deposit is less than or equal to 2 and our first deposit date is blank. So is blank first deposit. If both of these conditions are true, then our level should be level 2. I can simply just copy this because we just have to make some minor changes. The level 3 condition says that days since signed up for a customer is more than 2. So instead of less than equal to 2, I will change the condition to more than 2. And our first deposit is blank because that's when they have not made a deposit. Then this will be called as level 3. Otherwise, we are just going to say this as level 1. And I'm going to close the brackets. So our level 2 is if the customer has signed up in the past 2 days and their first deposit date is blank, which means they have not made a deposit, then put it as level 2. If the customer has signed up more than 2 days ago and their first deposit date is blank, which is they have not made any deposit yet, so that is level 3. And otherwise put rest of them as level 1. Now when I click on enter, this column gets populated. So if you see here, the customer has made a deposit here. That's why it's level 1, because then we don't consider when they have made a deposit. Let's go to this one where our first deposit is blank, and this one is more than 66 days ago they have signed up, which means this is our level 3 condition. And if we look at this one, the second last one, which is having a first deposit date as blank, and they signed up just 1 day ago, we can see that the condition is for level 2. So that's why we have level 2 in this column. Once this is all done, let's go back to our report view. And first, I will increase the canvas size. So for that, I will go to this formatting pane. And in settings, I will choose custom. And the height would be 1000 pixels. And for width, I'll choose 1380 pixels. Now I will get a table visual. In this table, let's get our columns. So first column is the customer, then city, then state, then country, referrer ID, then the column number of days since signed up, which had our days text, and then the track of customers column. Now let us start formatting this. So for title, I will just turn on the title, and the title should be sign up versus deposits. I'll change the font increase the font size, put it in the center, and for text color, I'll choose white text color, and for background color, let's choose this color. Going into style presets, we want this as sparse. It is already mentioned in the challenge that they have used sparse style, so I'm going to use the same style. For grid, let us turn on the horizontal grid line and choose this color. I'll increase the width to 3. For border, we want it at the left side, and the color should be the same blue color that we have selected for horizontal grid lines. And I'm going to choose 2 as the width. Now going into values, I'll increase this to size 13 so it's visible. And now for column headers, let us give this a background color of this dark blue color. Text color should be white. I'll increase the font size for this as well. And now in cell elements, I will choose number of days since signed up. And for this, we want a background color. I'll turn on the background color. Now we want this as a gradient, so I'm going to choose gradient. And we want this as per sum of days signed up. And we can choose any color. I'm choosing the same color format and clicking on OK. So this will give us the formatting. Now what we can do is we can just sort this. And if you see after one day we have 10 days and 111 days, because this is being treated as a text, what we can do is go to number of days, and here I can do sort by, and the sort by column should be the days since signed up column, because that is our integer column. And now if you see after one day we have 4, 9, 10, 14 days, so it is coming properly. Now again, going to this table visual and editing it. So now the second thing that we need is for the track of customers, we want the icons to show. So I will turn on the icon, and this should be by rules first track of customers. And what we want is if the value is level 1, then we want a tick. If the value is level 2, then we want an exclamation mark. And if the value is level 3, then we want a cross. And now when I click on OK, we see that these icons are now visible. Now what we can do is we can go to specific column, go into track of customers, and we can turn the text color into white so that this text is not visible and only the icons are visible. Now I'm going to rename these as per what is there in the challenge. So the number of days since signed up column for me, I will rename this as sign up. And track of customers, I will rename for this visual as deposit info. Now once this is done, I will just format this. We don't want the total, so I'll go into totals and turn the values off. Now for city, again going into specific columns, for city, we want the text color to be a blue color. And for country, so selecting country in series, we want this to be some purple color. Now the last thing that we need to do is add a slicer. First slicer would be days since signed up. So I'm going to bring this, and it is starting from 1 to 170 days. Let us format this. So we don't want the slicer header. For slicer title, we want it to be turned on. This is days signed. Let's change the font and put it in the center. Now I will turn off the background color for this one. I will change the font color to white. I will explain you why I am doing this. So I'll change the font color of the title to white. I will change the font color for values to be white. Now what I will do is I'll go into insert, go into shapes and add this rectangular shape. I will change the background color for this. So going into shape and style, turning off the border, and for fill, we just want this as this blue color. And now while I have this shape selected, I will go into format and select send to back so that it goes at the back, and now we have the same format as we have in the challenge. For the second slicer, we need the days between sign up date and the first deposit date. I will first change this into a whole number because this is a whole number date. Now I will just copy this slicer and remove this column and get the days between the sign up date and first deposit date column. And now once we have this, this is how our final visual would look like. If we change the values, then our values in the table will get affected. I hope you have learned something new from this one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.